Boil off. To evaporate or convert a liquid into vapor through boiling. Synonym for boil off. Evaporate, vaporize, steam away, dissipate, disappear by boiling, evanesce. The chef allowed the excess liquid to boil off to thicken the sauce. The chemist boiled off the solvent to isolate the pure compound. As the water reached its boiling point, steam began to boil off from the surface. Break down. To decompose or disintegrate into simpler substances. Synonym for break down. Decompose, disintegrate, deteriorate, fragment, collapse, degenerate. Enzymes help break down complex molecules into smaller components during digestion. The old car finally broke down after years of use. Enzymes in the stomach help break down food into simpler substances for digestion. Bubble up. To produce bubbles of gas within a liquid, typically due to heating. Synonym for bubble up. Foam up, froth up, effervesce, fizz, seethe, simmer. The boiling soup bubbled up, releasing its aroma throughout the kitchen. As the water heated, bubbles began to bubble up to the surface. When the solution was heated, bubbles of gas began to bubble up to the surface. Combine with. To react chemically with another substance to form a compound. Synonym for combine with, react with, mix with, blend with, fuse with, incorporate with, unite with. Oxygen combines with hydrogen to form water. Sodium combines with chlorine to form table salt. Hydrogen combines with oxygen to form water. Cool down. To decrease in temperature, often to reach a desired state. Synonym for cool down. Chill, lower the temperature, quench, temper, subside, ease off. After heating, the reaction mixture was allowed to cool down to room temperature. After the workout, it's important to cool down to prevent muscle soreness. Let the soup cool down before serving. Dissolve in. To mix a solute into a solvent to form a homogeneous solution. Synonym for dissolve in. Mix in, blend in, melt in, integrate, incorporate, disappear into. As the sugar slowly dissolved in the hot tea, it sweetened the beverage to perfection. The medication quickly dissolved in her bloodstream. Evaporate off. To convert a liquid into vapor and remove it from a solution or mixture. Synonym for evaporate off. Vaporize, dissipate, disperse, volatilize, steam away, evanesce. The chemist evaporated off the solvent to concentrate the solution. The alcohol quickly evaporated off, leaving behind a residue. Allow the excess water to evaporate off before sealing the container. React with. To undergo a chemical reaction with another substance. Synonym for react with. Combine with, interact with, engage with, respond to, confront, counteract. Acid reacts with metal to produce hydrogen gas. Oxygen reacts with iron to form rust. Metals often react with acids to produce hydrogen gas. Sublimate into. To transition directly from a solid to a gaseous state without passing through a liquid phase. Synonym for sublimate into. Vaporize, convert to gas, transcend, ascend, rise above, exalt. Dry ice sublimates in a carbon dioxide gas without melting into a liquid. Under extremely low pressure and cold temperatures, solid carbon dioxide can sublimate into carbon dioxide gas without passing through a liquid state. Dry ice sublimates into carbon dioxide gas at room temperature. Settle out. To separate solid particles from a liquid by allowing them to sink to the bottom. Synonym for settle out. Precipitate, deposit, sink, accumulate, collect, fall out. After centrifugation, the precipitate settled out at the bottom of the test tube. The centrifuge was used to settle out the solid particles from the liquid solution. After letting the mixture sit for a while, the sediment settled out at the bottom of the container. Burn off. To undergo combustion and convert into ash, gases, and heat. Synonym for burn off. Incinerate, combust, torch, ignite, scorch, sear. The morning fog burned off as the sun rose higher in the sky. She went for a run to burn off some calories after eating a large meal. During combustion, organic compounds burn off and release carbon dioxide and water. Precipitate out. To form a solid substance from a solution due to a chemical reaction. Synonym for precipitate out. Form a precipitate, fall out, settle, deposit, set, coalesce. Adding silver nitrate to sodium chloride solution causes silver chloride to precipitate out. Adding a specific reagent caused the metal ions to precipitate out of the solution as a solid. The sudden temperature change caused the dissolved salts in the water to precipitate out. Neutralize with. To counteract the effects of an acidic or basic substance by adding a corresponding opposite. Synonym for neutralize with. Counteract with, balance with, offset with, nullify with, cancel out with, compensate with. The acidic solution was neutralized with a base to bring it to a pH of 7. Acidic solutions can be neutralized with a base, such as sodium hydroxide. When handling a spill of a basic substance, it's important to neutralize it with an acid. Bond with. To form a chemical bond between atoms or molecules. Synonym for bond with. Form a bond with, attach to, connect with, link with, affix to, join with. Carbon atoms can bond with hydrogen atoms to form hydrocarbons. Metals often bond with nonmetals to form ionic compounds. Hydrogen atoms bond with oxygen atoms to form water molecules. Decompose into. To break down into simpler substances through chemical reactions. Synonym for decompose into. Break down into, disintegrate into, degrade into, fragment into, dissolve into, collapse into. Organic matter decomposes into simpler compounds like carbon dioxide and water during composting. Hydrogen peroxide decomposes into water and oxygen when exposed to light. When heated, calcium carbonate decomposes into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Ionize into. To convert atoms or molecules into ions by gaining or losing electrons. Synonym for. Ionize into. Convert into ions, electrify, charge, polarize, magnetize, energize. In the experiment, the high-energy particles cause the gas molecules to ionize into charged particles, altering the chemical composition of the substance. As the radiation passed through the material, it caused the atoms to ionize into positively and negatively charged ions, fundamentally changing the material's properties. When subjected to extreme heat, atoms of certain elements ionize into positively charged ions. Fuse together. To combine two or more substances into a single entity through high temperature or pressure. Synonym for. Fuse together. Merge, blend, unite, weld, meld, integrate. Under extreme pressure, hydrogen nuclei fuse together to form helium in the core of stars. Welding involves fusing together two pieces of metal to create a strong bond. Two hydrogen atoms fuse together to form a helium atom in nuclear fusion reactions. Neutralize out. To cancel the effects of an acid or base by adding a substance of opposite pH. Synonym for. Neutralize out. Counteract, offset, nullify, cancel out, balance, compensate. A few drops of vinegar can neutralize out the excess baking soda in a recipe. The acidic soil was neutralized out by adding agricultural lime to raise the pH. Adding a base can neutralize out the acidic properties of a solution. React out. To undergo a chemical reaction and form products. Synonym for. React out. Undergo a reaction, respond, engage, interact, counteract, counter. When methane and oxygen react out, they form carbon dioxide and water. Heating magnesium metal and oxygen causes it to react out and form magnesium oxide. When sulfuric acid reacts out with sodium hydroxide, water and sodium sulfate are formed. Hydrolyze into. To break down a compound into its constituents by reacting with water. Synonym for. Hydrolyze into. Decompose into, dissociate into, break up into, split into, disintegrate into, separate into. During digestion, enzymes hydrolyze complex carbohydrates into simple sugars. Soap molecules hydrolyze into fatty acids and glycerol when exposed to water. Ester molecules hydrolyze into carboxylic acid and alcohol in the presence of water and acid. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.